God told me I would score the goal against Real Madrid, and he did. What's up, football fans? Today we're diving into an incredible story that just unfolded in the Champions League. In the sacred halls of European football, where legends are born and history is written, sometimes a moment transcends the game itself. Tonight, at the Santiago Bernabéu, Arsenal's Bukayo Saka didn't just score a goal, he fulfilled what he believes was a divine prophecy. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to never miss stories like this. What makes this tale so extraordinary isn't just the goal itself, though it was magnificent, but the context surrounding it. This Champions League quarter-final wasn't merely a football match. It was a collision of football philosophies, a battle between the old guard of European football and the resurgent force from North London. For years, Arsenal had wandered in the wilderness, far from the pinnacle of European competition. Now, under Mikel Arteta's guidance, they were back where many believe they belong, facing the ultimate test against the 14-time European champions. Let's rewind to how we got here. The first leg at the Emirates had already produced a shock to the system of European football. Arsenal dominated Madrid in a 3-0 masterclass that left even the most optimistic Gunners fans stunned. But every football fan knows that a wounded Real Madrid is perhaps the most dangerous beast in football. The Santiago Bernabéu has been the graveyard of countless comebacks, the stage where the impossible becomes routine for Los Blancos. Carlo Ancelotti's men had engineered miraculous turnarounds before. Could they do it again? That was the question hanging in the Spanish air as both teams prepared for this crucial second leg. The stage was set. Champions League quarter-finals, Real Madrid versus Arsenal, the most decorated club in European history against a team desperate to reclaim their place among football's elite. And right in the middle of this epic clash stood a young man whose faith has always guided his steps. The odds were stacked against Arsenal. Many pundits had written them off before the whistle even blew. Real Madrid in the Bernabéu? That's where dreams go to die, not where miracles happen. The Spanish giants had eliminated countless hopefuls on their home turf over the years. They were the kings of Europe, the masters of the Champions League night. But sometimes, even kings can be dethroned when they face someone with unwavering belief. But let's not forget the immense psychological pressure weighing on these Arsenal players. The ghosts of past European disappointments still lingered. For nearly 2 decades, Arsenal had failed to reach the same heights as Wenger's Invincibles era. The Champions League semi-finals had become foreign territory for a club once considered perennial contenders. Critics had labeled this generation of players as talented but mentally fragile, skilled artists rather than battle-hardened warriors. In the days leading up to the match, the Madrid press had been relentless. "Arsenal will crumble under the Bernabeu lights," read one headline. "The English will feel the weight of history," proclaimed another. Such is the psychological warfare that precedes these European nights. But in the Arsenal camp, there was a quiet confidence, particularly from their number 7. Before joining his teammates in Madrid, Saka had confided in those closest to him. "God told me I would score the goal against Real Madrid," he said with quiet conviction. Not a boastful prediction, but a humble acknowledgement of his faith. Many nodded politely. After all, facing the defensive might of Real Madrid in their fortress was no small challenge. For 65 minutes, the match hung in the balance. The tension was palpable as both teams traded attacking moves. The Bernabéu, accustomed to witnessing magical European nights, watched anxiously as Arsenal began to assert themselves. The Arsenal faithful, those who had traveled thousands of miles to support their team, began to sense something special brewing. The Gunners weren't just competing, they were dominating for stretches against the European royalty. Arteta's men were playing with a swagger that belied the history and intimidation factor of this stadium. Real Madrid players exchanged nervous glances. This wasn't in the script they had prepared. Madrid had thrown everything at Arsenal in the opening exchanges. Bellingham came close with a thunderous volley that rattled the crossbar. Vinicius Jr.'s lightning pace had troubled the Arsenal defense repeatedly. Raya had been forced into 3 spectacular saves within the first half hour. The Bernabéu roared with each attack, sensing blood, anticipating the collapse of this young Arsenal side. But something remarkable was happening. With each Madrid wave repelled, Arsenal grew in confidence. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice began controlling the midfield tempo. Martin Odegaard started finding pockets of space that shouldn't exist against a team of Madrid's caliber. And on the right wing, Saka was increasingly becoming a thorn in the side of Madrid's defense. Then it happened. In the 65th minute, Saka received the ball on the right wing. With the composure of a veteran and the audacity of youth, he cut inside, leaving his marker frozen in his tracks. The space opened up before him like the Red Sea, and with unwavering belief, he unleashed a strike that curved beautifully past the outstretched arms of the goalkeeper. 1-0 to Arsenal. The moment deserves to be frozen in time, analyzed in its purest form. Saka collecting the ball near the halfway line. His first touch taking him past Ferland Mendy. His acceleration, not explosive like some wingers, but smooth, almost hypnotic, creating separation. The look in his eyes as he approached the Madrid penalty area, not of panic or hurry, but of serene certainty. The slight drop of the shoulder that sent Nacho sliding in the wrong direction. The perfect weight transfer as he set himself for the shot. And finally, the execution, not powered, but placed. The ball curling away from Lunin's desperate dive and nestling into the bottom corner. In the away end, pandemonium ensued. 3,000 Arsenal supporters leapt as one, a sea of red and white euphoria in a corner of the otherwise stunned Bernabéu. On the touchline, Mikel Arteta, normally so controlled, so methodical, couldn't contain himself, sprinting down the sideline with arms outstretched. Even the Spanish neutrals in the press box nodded in appreciation. This was football artistry of the highest order, delivered on the grandest stage. As the ball nestled in the net, Saka fell to his knees, pointing to the heavens. His teammates rushed to embrace him, but they could see in his eyes this was more than just another goal. This was confirmation of something deeper. In that moment of celebration, time seemed to stand still for the young Englishman. As his teammates mobbed him, cameras caught a whisper from his lips. "Thank you, God." It wasn't performative, wasn't for the cameras or the millions watching worldwide. It was an intimate moment of gratitude, a conversation between Saka and his creator that just happened to unfold on football's grandest stage. The significance wasn't lost on the commentators. "There's something almost biblical about this," noted the veteran broadcaster calling the game. A young man who prophesied his moment of glory, then delivered it with the conviction of the truly faithful. In studios across the world, pundits were already preparing their superlatives, knowing they were witnessing something that transcended tactical analysis or technical breakdown. "I felt a strange calm when I got the ball," Saka would later reveal in the post-match interview. "It was like time slowed down. I knew exactly what would happen before I even took the shot. That's when I remembered my prayer and the feeling I had that I would score." The look in his eyes as he spoke those words told a story beyond football. It was the look of a man who had just experienced something transcendent, a moment where sport and spirit converged in perfect harmony. His teammates noticed it too. There was something different about this goal, about this night, about this journey they were on together. But wait, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We bring you these incredible football stories every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Real Madrid, ever the champions, fought back. Vinicius Jr. equalized just 2 minutes later in the 67th minute, reminding everyone why Madrid are never to be underestimated. But Arsenal and Saka had something special brewing on this night. As the match entered its final stages, Arsenal reclaimed their lead through Gabriel Martinelli in the dying moments, sealing a famous 2-1 victory at the Bernabéu and a resounding 5-1 aggregate scoreline that sent the Gunners through to the semi-finals. If you're enjoying this story, smash that like button right now and let me know in the comments if you believed Arsenal could pull off this upset. For Arsenal fans, this was a night to remember, outplaying and outscoring the reigning European champions on their own turf. For football neutrals, it was a testament to the beautiful unpredictability of the game. But for Bukayo Saka, it was confirmation of something more profound. His journey from Hale End Academy to scoring decisive Champions League goals has been remarkable. Yet through all the accolades and achievements, Saka has maintained the same humble demeanor and unwavering faith that has defined him since his earliest days. "Football is my job, but faith is my foundation," Saka often says. Tonight, those two pillars of his life converged in spectacular fashion. This convergence of faith and football isn't unique to Saka, of course. Throughout football history, we've seen players express their spiritual beliefs on the pitch. From Kaká's "I belong to Jesus" undershirt to Mohamed Salah's sujood prayer celebration, the beautiful game has always been intertwined with faith for many of its greatest stars. Yet there's something particularly moving about Saka's expression, perhaps because it comes without any hint of performative piety, perhaps because it's delivered with the pure-hearted sincerity that has made him such a beloved figure in English football. Former Arsenal striker and fellow person of faith Ian Wright put it perfectly in his post-match analysis. What makes Bukayo special isn't just his talent, it's his character. He carries himself with a humility that's rare in modern football. His faith isn't something he uses as a brand or a hashtag. It's genuinely the cornerstone of who he is as a person and a player. And I think that authenticity resonates with people, regardless of their own beliefs. As Arsenal march on in their Champions League campaign, their young star carries with him not just the hopes of a club, but a personal conviction that some things are written in the stars, or perhaps, in his case, in divine providence. For Bukayo Saka, the boy who believed, the man who delivered, this wasn't just about advancing in a tournament. It was about a promise kept, a prophecy fulfilled, and the beautiful harmony of faith and football intertwining on the grandest stage of all. What makes Saka's story even more compelling is the journey that brought him to this moment. The heartbreak of the Euro 2020 final penalty miss that could have broken lesser spirits. The racial abuse that followed. The doubt that inevitably creeps in during such dark times. Yet through it all, Saka's faith never wavered. He transformed pain into purpose, setbacks into strength. Each touch of the ball since that summer night has been a rebuttal to those who doubted him, a testament to resilience forged in adversity's fires. In many ways, Saka represents the modern footballer at his finest. Technically brilliant yet grounded, supremely athletic yet intellectually engaged with the game. Those who know him speak of his meticulous preparation, his obsessive attention to detail, and his unwavering dedication to his craft. Before games, while other players might be lost in music or pre-match rituals, Saka can often be found in quiet contemplation, centering himself through prayer and visualization. "My faith isn't just something I talk about, it's how I live, how I play," Saka once said in a rare interview about his spiritual life. "When I step onto that pitch, I'm never alone. That gives me a peace that no amount of pressure can disturb." That peace was evident as he glided past Madrid defenders tonight, playing with a freedom that belied the occasion's magnitude. The significance of this goal extends beyond Arsenal's Champions League campaign. For a generation of young players watching at home, Saka represents something powerful. The embodiment of grace under pressure, of faith as a fortress against life's challenges. In a sports world often dominated by ego and excess, his humble acknowledgement of divine guidance offers an alternative narrative. One where success and spirituality walk hand in hand, where victory is celebrated not with arrogance, but with gratitude. Across social media, the images of Saka pointing to the heavens have already gone viral. Young fans are sharing his story, finding inspiration in his journey from heartbreak to heroics. Parents are using his example to teach their children about perseverance and belief. In an age where footballers are often criticized for being disconnected from reality, Saka represents something refreshingly authentic, a superstar who hasn't forgotten his roots or his faith. His Arsenal teammates speak of him with a reverence usually reserved for veterans twice his age. "There's something special about Bukayo," Captain Martin Odegaard said after the match. "He carries himself with a maturity and humility that lifts everyone around him. When he told us about his feeling before the game, no one doubted him. That's the kind of respect he commands in our dressing room." As Arsenal fans begin to dream of Champions League glory again, it's worth reflecting on Saka's role in this renaissance. From the darkness of that Euro 2020 penalty miss to the light of European glory, his journey embodies Arsenal's own transformation. Manager Mikel Arteta has built a squad in his image, young, fearless, technically gifted, but above all, mentally strong. And perhaps none embody these qualities more than the boy from Hale End, who now stands as a beacon for an entire generation. Football historians will note that Arsenal's victory at the Bernabéu puts them in rare company. Few English teams have conquered this fortress. Even fewer have done so in such a convincing manner. For the statisticians among you, this 2-1 victory, securing a 5-1 aggregate win, places Arsenal among an elite group who have dismantled Real Madrid over 2 legs. But beyond the numbers lies something more profound. A changing of the guard, perhaps. A signal that under Arteta, Arsenal are no longer just participants in Europe's elite competition. They are genuine contenders. Should Arsenal go all the way, historians might look back on this Saka goal as the moment when belief truly took hold, not just within the player himself, but throughout the club. There's a saying in football that great teams need defining moments, instances of triumph against the odds that forge an unshakable collective confidence. For Arsène Wenger's Invincibles, it was perhaps the victory at Old Trafford in 2002. For this Arsenal team, the conquest of the Bernabéu, spearheaded by Saka's moment of brilliance, might well be the psychological watershed from which all future success flows. The ripple effects extend beyond just this season's Champions League campaign. Arsenal's long-term project under Arteta has been built on a foundation of youth, with academy graduates like Saka at its heart. Success on nights like this validates that approach, potentially influencing how other clubs structure their own development pathways. In an era of instant gratification and quick-fix transfers, Arsenal's patience with both their young players and their manager offers a compelling alternative model. God told me I would score the goal against Real Madrid, and he did. In the Cathedral of the Bernabéu, Saka didn't just find the net, he found confirmation of his faith. And in doing so, he may have just helped Arsenal find their way back to European glory. Thanks for watching this incredible story of faith, football, and destiny. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with more amazing football stories. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Arsenal can go all the way and win the Champions League this season? See you in the next video. And before you go, let me know what other football stories you'd like to hear about. Is there another player whose journey inspires you? Another moment of sporting prophecy that captivated your imagination? This channel thrives on bringing you the most compelling narratives from the beautiful game, and your suggestions help shape our content. Remember, we're not just covering the goals and the glory, we're diving deep into the human stories that make football the world's most beloved sport. Stories like Bukayo Saka's remind us why we fell in love with this game in the first place. Until next time, keep believing in the beautiful game. And if you enjoyed this story of faith and football, you might want to check out our previous videos on other inspiring players who've overcome tremendous obstacles. From Mohamed Salah's journey from the streets of Nagrig to global superstardom, to N'Golo Kante's remarkable rise from amateur football to World Cup winner, all while maintaining the humility and faith that define them as much as their sporting prowess. Next week, we'll be bringing you an exclusive analysis of the other Champions League semi-finalists and their potential paths to glory. Will it be Arsenal lifting the trophy at Wembley? Could this finally be the year for Manchester City to claim their first Champions League? Or will Bayern Munich or another European giant reassert the established order? Subscribe now so you don't miss it. This has been another production from Football Faith Chronicles. Remember, in football, as in life, sometimes the most extraordinary moments come to those who believe. See you next time. God told me I would score the goal against Real Madrid, and he did. In this exclusive video, we explore the incredible story of Bukayo Saka's prophetic goal that helped Arsenal defeat Real Madrid 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabéu, securing a dominant 5-1 aggregate victory in the Champions League quarter-finals. Saka's stunning 65th-minute strike wasn't just a brilliant piece of skill. It was the fulfillment of a divine promise he shared with teammates before the match. Watch as we break down this extraordinary moment of faith and football brilliance, from the technical perfection of the goal to the spiritual journey that brought Saka to this career-defining moment. From his heartbreaking Euro 2020 penalty miss to Champions League glory, Saka's story is one of resilience, faith, and redemption. This isn't just a football story, it's a testament to the power of belief.